Sabihin mo, Mr. Chair,
Process-oriented po ako,
ang
Mr.
mga
Chair.
congressmen, gusto mo mag-executive session tayo, ipapakita ko sa iyo mga congressmen.
Sige, wala akong nakausap. Yung sa Manila nyo,
You
I
are
was never with
You are lying,
Architect
Mr.
Texon.
Order,
I
please.
can cite you for
1 minute
Mr. Chair.
suspension
Mr.
is
Chair.
declared by the chair.
And that is the reason why, Mr. Chair, this person was taken out of DepEd because of his anomalous practices in DepEd. Para ka nagbebenta ng isda, inaalok mo sa lahat ng congressmen ang allocation ng school buildings asking for a commission. Right there and then, I already knew anong pag-uusapan. Si Mr. Dinsing hihingi ng komisyon. Mr. Dinsing, are you still connected with DepEd?
Your Honor, may I, Mr. Chair?
Yes, Mr. Epimaco
I left
Dinsing,
DepEd
you are
effective
recognized.
September 30, Your Honor,
September 30, 2024.
2024.
Bakit po kayo umalis sa DepEd, Mr. Dinsing?
With the intention of running for public office, Your Honor.
Hindi ba kayo tinanggal sa DepEd?
Hindi po.
Because from what I gathered, you were made to submit a courtesy resignation.
Opo, ahead.
Yes,
Opo.
you did.
Opo.
And your courtesy resignation was accepted.
Tama po yan.
It was short of saying, a courteous way of saying that you are out of DepEd. Actually, from the information that I got, nakiusap ka pa na ma-retain dun sa DepEd.
No,
But
hindi
the
po.
administration did not allow it. But anyway,
Yusek Dinsing, may I remind you to please address the chair?
I apologize, Mr. Chair.
Okay, thank you.
anyway, that is another matter. Kailan po kayo na appoint sa DepEd, Mr. Dinsing?
Effective, yung document is July 18, 2022, and I acted as Chief of Staff until December 31, 2022.
July 18, 2022 to September 30, 2024.
Apa.
So, yung first appointment mo, pagpasok mo sa DepEd, anong binigay na position sa'yo?
Until December 31, Chief of Staff muna po ako. Dahil ina-arrange
Staff.
pa yung mga bagong appointees at the time. I was the first appointee at the time, Your Honor.
No, when you entered July 18, were you appointed as Chief of Staff, Undersecretary?
At Undersecretary, Chief of Staff, yes.
Undersecretary.
Chief of Staff, yes.
Undersecretary for what?
Chief of Staff.
So concurrent yun, Undersecretary and Chief of Staff.
Tama po. That was the first position
You
at the
served
time.
then as Chief of Staff of Vice President Sara.
Tama po yan, as of December 31.
So sabay kayong pumasok.
Ahead lang ba siya? By July 1 po siya. Ako July 18 officially.
Aside from the DepEd portfolio, ano pang government service na napasukan mo na?
Prior to DepEd, I was DILG Undersecretary.
From what year?
From 2018 to 2022, and I entered DILG as Assistant Secretary for Plans and Programs from 2016 to 2018.
Prior to the ILG appointment.
I was from the private sector, Your Honor.
So in short, as a government public servant, you only served as DILG Assistant Secretary and DepEd Undersecretary.
Tama po yan. 8 years in total, Your Honor.
Aside from being a Chief of Staff, ano pa bang ang designation sa inyo?
Nung first 6 months po in office, yun lang po. Then when the Matatag agenda was formulated, the form reform areas included infrastructure. So by January 31, during the basic education report, I was announced to take care of the infrastructure strand, newly created, Your Honor.
So what does that cover? You were in charge of the school infrastructure and facilities.
Tama po yun.
Is this a division or the department? Or a program? Ano bang ibig sabihin nitong
It's
school?
a strand, Your Honor, like the curriculum and teaching strand, like the administration strand. So it's a policy level position, Your Honor.
So what covers, anong mandato mo dito sa school infrastructure and facilities?
It's to create policy on how infrastructure should be made creating the long-term strategic direction. Nagkaroon kami ng comprehensive school infrastructure development plan for 2030. Then, coordination with DPWH because the implementer of the new construction of DepEd is DPWH, not DepEd.
Were you involved in the procurement of the school buildings?
No, Your Honor.
But you were in charge of the allocation of the budget of the school buildings.
The identification, Your Honor. We have a committee to do that.
And ikaw ang in charge doon sa identification.
Ako po ang in charge, pero sabihin, I had a committee created for the identification.
Okay, ano ba ang mga programs doon sa school infrastructure and facilities?
So it includes, Your Honor, new construction implemented by the DPWH. Then we have the school furnitures implemented by the regional offices. And we have the last mile school, electrification, water systems, and implemented by the division offices.
So if you started in 2022, in short, you handled the budget for 2023 and also for 2024, hindi po ba? For the school buildings.
For the 2023 po, hindi po. The school buildings was under the administration strand. So I only took over 2023.
What was the budget? What was the budget of the 2023 school building program?
The original budget was 5.9 billion. Yun po ang nasa NEP. And it
That
was
was for 2023.
23 po. I-explain ko yung original po. 5.9 billion sa NEP. It was only limited to 5th and 6th class municipality. Then pagdating po paglabas po ng JA, nadagdagan po ng 9.7 billion. So a total of 15.6 billion, 2023 JA.
For 2024,
2024 sa NEP po is 19.7. By when the JA came out, it became 24.7 billion for 2024.
so i-cover din ng SIF yung Basic Education Facilities Fund programs, hindi po ba?
Opo, tama po yun.
So under din sa iyo yun,
Ang alin po yung?
yung BEFF, the
Opo.
Basic Education
When you say
Facilities
BFF,
and
that's the
Programs.
total infrastructure program.
But there is a discrepancy. Sabi mo kanina, 19.7 billion ang
NEP.
allocated.
NEP.
But it states here that in the 2023 GAA, the amount of 23,417,897 pesos was appropriated in the GAA for 2023.
Your Honor, that's BFF. So that includes new construction, which is 15.6 billion, my electrification, my water system, my repairs, around 4.9 billion, and I think last mile school. So a total of 23 billion, Your Honor.
So you were the one in charge for the identification.
Tama po yun.
Aside from the identification, ano pa ba ang mandato mo as a undersecretary? What exactly is your designation? Undersecretary for what? For operations, for administration?
Starting 2023, Undersecretary for School Infrastructure and Facilities, starting 2023.
So, sakop mo nga lahat ng mga school buildings.
Tama po, tama po.
Okay. So, you were the ones who decided sinong bibigyan ng school buildings kasi sabi mo kanina, ikaw ang nag-identify. So, you were the ones, kasi ang proseso po niyan, nagpapadala yung mga school superintendent division or rather the schools division in each district or in each province. They have proposals for the repair, for the construction, and it goes to your office. And then, ikaw ang nag-identify sinong popondohan. Dahil hindi naman pwedeng pondohan lahat, hindi po ba?
Tama po, tama po.
Correct.
Pero for this purpose, Your Honor, I made sure that it is equitably allocated. That's why in August 4, 2023, we created a National Technical Working Group composed of 4 area managers, members of Education Facilities Division, merong operation strand na outsider sa SIF strand para ho fair ang allocation and based on needs. And there's a criteria. The criteria is 70% should be allocated to those which are in makeshifts, yung talagang walang classroom from the very beginning, and 30% allocated dun sa may shortage, kagaya ng 2 shifts, 3 shifts, yun po, shortage po yun. So nakafocus
Mr.
po
Chair,
dun.
merong committee na nagde-decide
Tama po yun.
kung sinong bibigyan ng allocation.
Opo.
Based on the proposed list of the divisions. Hindi
Tama po.
ba?
We assume na validated na rin siya.
So in short, ikaw talaga ang nagde-decide kung sinong binibigyan.
Once na nagawa na listahan ng yung komite, I just accept it at is because I assume that they follow the criteria that we set.
But I think you're the one who is really deciding because if I recall, during the budget hearing, Mr. Chair, for 2023, ang pinadala po ni Mr. Dinsing during the party consultations, pinadala ng DepEd during the party consultations, if you remember, for every budget hearings, before the pre-plenary budget hearings, may pinapadala po ng mga representative, in most cases it's the secretary. I recall in 2023, during the budget deliberations, kayo ang pinadala na regarding sa mga school buildings.
Tama po yun. I remember that was, I think, third week of August 21 or 22. Tapos at that time, tapos na po yung listahan na ginawa ng National Technical Working Group. I think the list was supposed to be around 15.1 billion. Yun po ang pinresent namin sa consultation.
So in short, you really have a big role. You have the big role in identifying and allocating funds for the different divisions with regards to school buildings. Hindi po ba?
Tama po, tama po.
Ngayon, ang tanong ko, in the 2024 budget or the National Expenditure Program, there was an allocation for Surigao del Sur, in fact, 2 districts. One in the amount of 103 million pesos for, if I'm not mistaken, Tagbina National High School, and another 70 million pesos for Barubon National High School. But unfortunately, in fact, there was already a notice from DepEd to DPWH to conduct the biddings already. However, all of a sudden, the biddings were stopped because accordingly, the funds are not available. Paano po nangyari yun, Mr. Chair? Na nakalagay na nga doon sa National Expenditure Programs, pagdating doon sa 2024, nawala yung budget.
Ang nangyari po noon, Mr. Chair, sabi ko nga, meron na identify na 15.1 billion yung National Technical Working Group, which we adopted as is. Yun po ang pinesent namin sa mga ating congressman.
But Mr. Chair, it was already included in the NEP. Paano mawawala yun?
Ang nangyari po, Mr. Chair, ganito, nung paglabas po ng General Appropriations Bill, yung 19.7 naging 24.7 billion, pero yung 14.7 billion nagkaroon po ng Annex A. In other words, these are the projects identified by the various congressmen. So, yung aming 15.1 nawala. So, since nawala siya, ang una namin ginawa, yung lahat ng may malalaking allocation na 100 million pataas, yun ang una namin kinat para ma-allocate sa mga maliliit. So, yung aming 15.1 at the time naging 5.8 billion na lamang, lumiit po ng husto.
So, Mr. Chair, in short, you took it upon yourself to cut the budget without notifying the congressmen. Sabi mo kanina, may mga identification mga congressmen. You took it upon yourself, being the head of the SIF, to cut the budgets of the different proposed school buildings. Ganun ba?
That was because there's no more budget in the General Appropriations Bill. We had to cut for that everybody will also be allocated.
So how did you decide, Mr. Chair, kung anong kapuputuloy, anong tatanggalin doon, anong bibigyan?
Well, ang decision lang muna is tanggalin yung mga malalaki, which is yung mga 100 million pataas, 80 million taas. Because, Mr. Chair, as I already mentioned, the policy was really to go multi-story kasi wala na pong buildable space. Kaya medyo malalaki po yung ating building ngayon to maximize buildable space. So, yun po ang nauna. Yung mga 100 million pataas, 80 million pataas. So, yung natira mga 50, 40 million,
Ayun
two-story,
nga, tinanggal
three-story.
ninyo yung multi-story, tinanggal ninyo dun sa district ko, Mr. Chair. Yun ang tinanggal ninyo.
Well,
And not only that, there was also a 200 million peso project in District 1 na tinanggal din ninyo.
Hindi ako familiar in detail, pero I don't remember there's a 200 million school building in any school for that matter.
You know what, Mr. Chair? I'll give you an explanation bakit ninyo tinanggal. Do you know a certain Mr. Greg Murillo?
Yes, sir, Mr. Chair.
Sabi ko kanina, Mr. Chair, the 180 million pesos was already included in the National Expenditure Program. But upon bidding, it was recalled. But prior to the bidding, this Mr. Greg Murillo, who's a close friend of Mr. Dinsing, called me. At itong sinabi niya, kamusta po kayo, Congressman? Sabi ko, mabuti naman. Congressman, meron po lang kayong budget na 170 million pesos para sa district mo. O sabi ko, yun nga, naka-schedule na for bidding. In fact, binibidding na yata. Sir, pwede daw muna, mag-usap daw muna kayo ni Mr. Dinsing. Those exactly the words of him, pwede tayo magharap-harap tayo, baka naman pwede makipagkita ka kay Mr. Dinsing. And sabi ko, para saan? Alam mo na, may pag-uusapan kayo. Right there and then, I already knew anong pag-uusapan. Si Mr. Dinsing hihingi ng komisyon. So, I told Mr. Greg Murillo, whom you admitted is your good friend, sinabi ko doon kay Mr. Murillo, why will I give money to Mr. Dinsing when this has already been allocated in the National Expenditure Program? So I did not entertain that anymore. And Mr. Chair, lo and behold, the funds did not come through. Kinancel yung bidding and then nawala na nga because I did not come across to the request of Mr. Dinsing na humingi siya ng komisyon. And not only that, Mr. Dinsing, hindi lang akong biktima niyan. Marami pong mga congressmen, and for the record, I want to put it in record, maraming mga congressmen na nagsabi din sa akin that you approach them. In fact, there is one congressman in Visayas that you were asking for 18% commission of the school buildings. Kasi ikaw nga ang nagdidesisyon kung sinong bibigyan, sino ang tatanggalan. In fact, it is on record. You just said kanina na ikaw ang nagdesisyon kung sinong tatanggalan, sinong bibigyan. Not only that, sometime last year or probably within this year, you met with some of the congressmen in Manila. I already talked to them. Humarap ka doon, may kasama ka pang contractor. Do you know a certain architect, Ralph Texon?
Yes, yes, sir.
Yes. Yung po ang kasama mo nung humarap ka sa congressman sa Manila. And just the same, you were implying, you were asking for a commission, hindi lang yun, sinabi mo pa na yung contractor mong gagawa, itong si Mr. Architect Ralph Texon. And that is the reason why, Mr. Chair, tinanggal si Mr. Dinsing sa DepEd. He did not resign. I knew from the very beginning that he will be taken out because there were already anomalies in the distribution and the allocation of school buildings program. In fact, Mr. Chair, nung pag-alis niya sa DepEd, may isa pang inipit na 34 million pesos sa Bislig Central Elementary School, which is in my district. Now, I will not mention anymore the name. One official of the new administration sa DepEd called me. Ano ang sabi sa akin, Mr. Dinsing? Kung meron ka bang project na 34 million sa Bislig Central Elementary? Sabi ko, meron. Ano, nakabidding na? Hindi, ini-stop nga eh. Sir, ito, ilalabas na ho namin. Inipit ho ni Mr. Dinsing. And that is the reason why, Mr. Chair, this person was taken out of DepEd because of his anomalous practices in DepEd. Yun po ang katotohanan niyan. Nakiusap ka pa na ma-retain ka pero hindi na tinanggap ni Senator Sani Angara, and that's good for DepEd because you have been doing the rounds para ka nagbebenta ng isda. inaalok mo sa lahat ng congressmen ang allocation ng school buildings asking for a commission.
Mr. Chair, may I now respond?
Yes, please.
Well, first of all,
respond.
it's a blatant lie asking for commission. It is the very reason I'm process-oriented.
Sasabihin mo, Mr. Chair,
Process-oriented po ako, Mr.
ang mga
Chair.
congressmen, gusto mo mag-executive session tayo, ipapakita ko sa iyo mga congressmen.
Sige, wala
na hiningan
wala
mo.
akong nakausap. Yung sa Manila nyo,
You
I
are
was
lying.
never with
You are lying,
Architect
Mr.
Texon.
Densing.
Order,
I
please.
can cite you for
1 minute.
Mr. Chair.
Suspension is
Mr. Chair.
declared by the chair. Hearing resumes.
Mr. Chair,
Congressman Johnny Pimentel.
it would be useless for this representation to ask further questions to the resource person because he's a pathological liar. What I will do, Mr. Chair, is gather more evidences to prove that what I am saying is true, that Mr. Ipimako Densing is a very corrupt person. He is a kalawag in the public service. He has been asking commissions for the release of funds for the school buildings. Papatunayan ko po yan sa next hearing. I'll gather more informations. Ito pa lang sasabihin ko sa iyo, Mr. Densing. Dapat huwag ka nang bumalik sa gobyerno. The government does not need your kind. You are a very corrupt person making your position to your advantage. Yun lang po, Mr. Chair.
Thank you. We will now proceed to the next interpellator. The Honorable Senior Deputy Speaker, Congressman Dong Gonzales.
Inom muna tayong tubig, medyo... Anyway, magandang tanghali po sa ating lahat. Nakita ko lang po itong mga dokumento. Nandito ba si Yusek Sevilla? Hi, ma'am. Good morning po. Good afternoon po. So, pangilang secretary na po sa DepEd ito? At ilang taon na po kayo sa DepEd?
Magandang hapon po, Mr. Chair. Your Honor, I have been with the Department of Education for more than 8 years, and I have served for 3 secretaries already.
So, who are those 3 secretaries, ma'am?
Your Honor, the first one is Secretary Liling Briones. The second one is BP Sara Duterte, and recent po ngayon si Secretary Sani Angara.
So, are you the USEC for Finance, if I'm not mistaken, ma'am?
Yes, that's true po, Your Honor.
So, bilang Undersecretary for Finance, so sir, you're one of the crafting of the budget of the Department of Education at tumutulong po kayo sa fiscal year na dumarating. So, tama ho yun, USEC?
Yes, Your Honor, that's true.
Well, nakita ko lang po dito, Madam Yusek, kung maari po, kanino po kayo nakikipag-coordinate pag piniprepare niyo yung budget?
Your Honor, for the budget proposal, ang una po nating iintayin is the budget call of the Department of Budget and Management. So mag-i-issue po sila ng priorities, programs ng ating national government. Kasama na po doon yung mga templates, forms, conditions, criteria. And then, yun po ay gagawin natin internally sa DepEd para ma-orient po lahat ng opisina natin na ito yung magiging trust or ito yung direction ng national government. So, within DepEd, nakipag-coordinate po kami sa colleagues or undersecretaries, assistant secretaries, regional directors para po pag nagawa tayo ng budget proposal, ito po ay talagang galing doon sa pangangailangan ng opisina.
And proposing amount per line item, of course, you have the basis, the expenditure of the preceding fiscal year. Yun po ang palakad ng ating departamento. Tama ho ba yun?
Kasama po sa budget call ng Department of Budget and Management yung tinatawag na Tier 1. Tier 1, ibig sabihin, i-continue nyo yung operation na lagi pong kailangan ng ahensya. So Tier 1 po yung mga regular programs. Tama po, Your Honor.
Madam Yusek, during the preparation of your budget, like for example, so to speak, this fiscal year 2023, did you propose a line item on confidential funds, ma'am?
For 2023, we submitted in 2022. Ang submission po natin officially is May of 2022. So, wala po doon sa proposal namin yung confidential fund.
So kailan po nyo naipasok yung confidential funds?
Your Honor, technically, submitted na po yung proposal ng 2023 by May. And then, pagdating ng July, August, may bagong administration. So, ang DBM po ay sumulat sa atin to confirm yung proposal na sinabmit ng May. Now, nung pong sinabmit namin yung proposal for 2023 in August, wala naman pong nakalagay na linya na confidential fund sa proposal, pero nung lumabas po yung NEP, National Expenditure Program, meron na pong nakalagay doon na confidential expense at 150 million.
So Yusek, do you confirm that was the first time that DepEd proposed an item of confidential funds, ma'am?
Yes, Sir Honor. First time po sa Department of Education na magkaroon ng confidential
So
fund.
kailan po yun naipasok? That was 2023?
National Expenditure Program, NEP 2023 po.
So how the amount determined? Paano dinidetermine? At paano nyo nilalagay sa line item? Did you enter in the budget of DepEd? And then what's the cost of this insertion, ma'am? Ano ang formula to put it as a line item of DCF?
Respectfully, Your Honor, I would like to defer to DBM, to the Department of Budget and Management, kasi sila na po yung nagpasok nung line item na confidential fund sa NEP. If I may, Your Honor.
Yes, Mr. Chair. Mr. Chairman. Mr. Chair, I know that this point has been repeated over and over again, but I invite everyone to another angle here. The amount of confidential funds that the DepEd would have appears to have been arbitrarily set, and would appear that it was arbitrarily set by the former Secretary and now Vice President. Ma'am, as a USEC for Finance, what was your involvement with respect to the confidential funds of Department of Education?
When it was already, Your Honor, when it was already included in the GAA of 2023, our role will be to process and release the fund in compliance with the joint circular on the confidential fund.
So in your recollection, ma'am, in the year 2023, how many checks did you sign for the confidential fund?
Per the provision of the joint circular, allowed po kami na mag-issue ng cash advance for 3 months. So per quarter. At 3 po yung cheque na na-issue po namin for the first, second, and third quarters of 2023, Your
So
Honor.
meaning to say 12 months divided by 4, that is equivalent to 3 months.
Yes, Your Honor.
Tatlong tig 37.5 yung in-issue niyo po.
That's correct, Your Honor.
So, ilang signatories po sa cheque ang pumipirma pag yung cheque for the CF, Madam Yusek?
The same with regular funds po, ang template ng ating cheque ay 2 ang magsasign. Sa Department of Education, meron po tayong signing authority. Kapag po 10 million and below, ako po at saka yung aming accountant or the finance director. Pag 10 million and up po, ako po or any other undersecretary can sign the check po.
Tama po ba na kasama si Yusek Mercado sa pagpirma ng cheque?
Yes, Your Honor. Siya po yung co-signatory doon sa 3 cheque po for the confidential fund.
Thank you po. Isa-isayin lang po natin itong mga cheque. Ito yung cheque na pinirmahan po ni Yusek Mercado para sa first quarter ng 2023. Tama ba ito yung unang 37.5 million ng confidential funds at ito ay na-issue sa pangalan ni Mr. Edward Paharda. Tama po ba? Nasa screen po yata. Tama po ba, Madam Yusek? Pakitingnan
February
po yung-
20, 2023, opo, sa pangalan po ng Special Disbursing Officer Edward Fajarda.
So that was February 20, 2023.
Opo.
Ang cheque na ito ay may corresponding disbursement voucher, tama?
Meron po, Your Honor.
At ikaw rin ang signatory ng disbursement voucher na ito, tama ho ba, ma'am?
Sa disbursement voucher po, marami pong nakasign. Yung pong nagre-request, ang una. Susunod po yung accountant para sabihin na kumpleto yung supporting documents sa hinihingi na babayaran or i-disburse. At pangatlo po ako, yung approval po, dahil sa level ko po itong 37.5 million, Your Honor.
So meaning talagang dadaan po yan sa accounting.
Yes po.
Ang check na ito ay corresponding disbursement voucher at ito rin ang mga signatory sa disbursement voucher at ito'y nagkakalaman ng presyo ng 37.5 million. Tama ho ba, Madam Chair?
Tama po, Your Honor.
Yusek, I am a little confused. I do not see where it is disbursement voucher. It states na para sa confidential fund, ang nakalagay po dito ay MOOE, which means maintenance and other operating expenses, na para po ba sa kaalaman ng ating mga kababayan ay category of expenditures relating to operations of government agencies just such as expenses for supplies and materials, transportation and travel, utilities. Related po ito sa regular funds at hindi sa confidential funds. Tama ho ba?
Your Honor, yung pong disbursement voucher ay ginagawa ng mga end user or ang ibig sabihin kung sino po yung magre-request ng magpa-issue ng cheque. So yung pong particulars dito would be supplied by the end user. But nakita naman po namin when it went to the accounting, kahit hindi po nakalagay na confidential fund, nakalagay naman po doon yung reference ng kung nasaan yung confidential fund. For example, Your Honor, makikita po dito sa third line, under page 376 of RA 11936, yun po yung JA 2023. Saka yung section 85 ng General Provision, pag tinignan po yun, nakalagay po doon, confidential fund.
Can you please define the Fund 101, Fund 102, and Fund 105, ma'am?
Fund 101 are funds for the regular operation of the department po. So, ibig sabihin, ito po yung pondo na pwede nating gamitin para sa regular operation at programa ng agency. Yung Fund 102 po ay pang foreign assisted projects. So, pag meron po mga loans or proceeds na nanggagaling sa mga bilateral or multilateral sources, yun po yung 102. Meron din pong trust receipts at ito po yung 151 or 152. Yun po yung classification ng mga pondo.
So meaning to say yung ginawa nating voucher is under Fund 101.
Yes, sir. Opo, this is Fund 101.
Yusek, ito kung nakabase sa Fund 101 at this is a confidential fund, paano process ito? May magsasabi ba sa'yo, Yusek Sevilla, please prepare the voucher and lagay mo ang i-payable natin kay Mr. Paharda, Edward Paharda. Paano nyo ba nag-emanate itong voucher? How did it start? May nagbibigay ng instruction from other Yusek or sa secretary mismo?
Opo po. For the confidential fund, talaga po ang sinusunod namin yung joint circular. Nakalagay din po sa joint circular yung steps kung paano ilalabas yung pera or i-disburse yung pera. So magsisimula po, Your Honor, on the identification of the SDO or the Special Disbursing Officer. So meron po dapat na pirmado, authorized by the head of the agency na siya yung ina-identify na Special Disbursing Officer. So we were informed of that through a memo. Second is, kailangan po naka-banded or mag-apply ng fidelity bond yung ating Special Disbursing Officer. So meron din pong application yung SDO at approved din po ito ng Bureau of Treasury. Yung po yung susunod na hahanapin namin. And then susunod po would be the obligation request. Ibig sabihin magpapa-obligate siya, magpapa-release. And then ito pong disbursement voucher. So lahat po yun would be signed by the head of the agency as indicated po dito sa ating joint circular.
So tama ho. I agree that pag gagawin nyo yan, si Mr. Edward Fajarda nakapangalan sa PAY, pero kayo ang magpapa-approve and of course signed by the Secretary and of course the Vice President of the Republic of the Philippines, Sara Duterte, Vice President Sara Duterte. So, pagkatapos po dito ma-approve, si Mr. Edward Fajarda ho ba ang nagkiklaim sa cashier to get the check?
I think, Your Honor, kung babalik po natin doon sa disbursement voucher, if I may request, Your Honor, you can see that at the bottom, sa bottom po niyan, meron pong receipt of payment. Ayun po, sige pa po. Receipt of
Sino ang nakatanggap?
Ayun.
Kasi signature lang po yan, walang
kay
pangalan.
Sir Edward Fajarda po yan, kailangan niyang i-sign na natanggap na po niya yung check.
So, siya ang nakatanggap ng cheque.
Opo.
And then si Mr. Fajarda, pagkatanggap ng cheque, hindi ho siya mag-issue ng resibo?
Hindi na po, Your Honor, kasi ito na po yung proof na natanggap niya yung cheque as cash advance. Tapos hawak niya ang cheque, siya na po ang magpapa-encash po dito.
Mr. Fajarda, siya ang SDO natin. Siya ang Special Disbursing Officer po natin. Tama po ba?
Your Honor, siya po ang authorized SDO po natin.
Okay. And then, Mr. Fajarda, pagkakuha ng cheque, dadali niya yung cheque sa Land Bank. Land Bank check po yan, di ba?
Opo, but ang finance po kasi magtatapos na po sa disbursement voucher pag nakuha na po yung cheque, pupunta na po ito sa cash.
Kaya nga, ang tinatanong ko po yung cashier, kung anong checking gagamitin niya. Kung gagamitin DBP, Land Bank, dalawa po yan, di ba? Land Bank po siguro yan. Anong cheque po ginamit?
Opo, land bank check po kami, yun po ang bank account ng DepEd.
So meaning to say, Land Bank po yung ginamit, worth 37.5. At yung 37.5 na yun, dadalhin ni Mr. Fajarda sa Land Bank. So paano pa niya ho pinapa-incas ito? Binibigay siyempre, cash yan, papa-incas po yung cheque sa counter ng Land Bank, ibibigay niya yan, cash, di ba? Madam Chair?
Yes, Your
Madam
Honor.
Yusek, sorry. Yeah.
Opo, yes, Honor. The records will show under the cash division na ito rin po ay na-encash.
So, na-encash.
Opo.
So, andyan ho ba si Mr. Fajarda? Si Mr. Fajarda? Si Mr. Edward Fajarda, nandito ho ba? Not present. Not present? Hindi ba tayo nagpadala ng invitation po kay Mr. Fajarda?
Your Honor, invitation was sent. Committee also issued a subpoena ad testificandum to compel his appearance in the next hearing, Your Honor.
Kasi siya makakasagot sa tanong ko eh. Pag halimbawang pina-encash niya yung cheque, siyempre tatanggapin niya yung 37.5, papapirma ng bangko. Medyo mabigat-bigat po to, 37.5 million, kailangan may kasama siya. At I went in DepEd building already, how many times, wala naman pong elevator yung DepEd office nyo, di ba? Agdan lang po, di ba? Wala namang elevator. So, paano nyo kinakarga yung 37.5 million? Saan niya dinadala? May office uba sa DepEd si Mr. Fajarda?
Opo, may opisina po siya, executive assistant po siya under the office of the secretary, but I wouldn't know po the circumstances after po ng issuance ng check ng finance. So, hindi ko po, apologies po, hindi ko ba ko-confirm or masasagot kung paano po to na-encash or nadadala.
So, medyo mabigat-bigat po to kung 3 beses kayo nag-issue ng 37.5 na 3 cheque, 3 beses niya kinargaan yung 37.5 million from Land Bank, from his office in DepEd, dumadaan siya ng hagdan. Tama po ba, Madam Yusek?
Your Honor, hindi
Hindi
ko
nyo ma-confirm
hindi
kasi
ko
wala
ma-confirm,
si-
Your Honor po. Pasensya na po.
Well, anyway, at least po, itong 3 cheque, 3 voucher, signed by the Secretary, signed by the 2 USECs, yung voucher at pinirmahan po itong cheque, ay katunayan po at natanggap po itong 37.5 times 3, that is equivalent to 112.5 million total ang natanggap na tatlong cheque ni Mr. Paharda. So, Madam Sibilia, sa pagkaintindi ko, sa sort of programs of being done in confidential funds came in, and the difference before was that the military that was administering the program, am I correct? Ang military po ang binibigay ni Mr. Paharda sa mga military para sa mga programa ng ating ibang programa ng DepEd?
Unfortunately, Mr. Chair, I have no knowledge on the utilization of the fund kasi hindi po talaga kasama na ang finance sa pag-utilize. In fact, pati po yung liquidation at saka reporting, hindi po yan pupunta sa DepEd. Wala pong record na makikita sa accounting or budget on the utilization or liquidation. Ang bibigay po sa amin para makuha yung susunod na tranche ng cheque is the proof na nasubmit ang report sa Commission on Audit na ICFAO, yung pong sa opisina nila. Ang ibibigay po sa amin would be the cover letter na na-receive ng ICFAO, yung utilization report and the liquidation. Pag po nabigyan kami ng kopya na yon, pwede nang i-process yung susunod na tranches po, Your Honor.
So if there is a specific department under the Department of Education that is in charge with expenditure confidential funds, how about the operations department? May alam po ba kayo doon? Sa confidential funds? Kung sino ang USEC of operations ng fiscal year 2023 para doon sa confidential funds at kanino nila binibigay?
I honestly do not know how to answer that, Your Honor. Kung USEC for operation ng regular mandate ng DepEd, may USEC po for operation. Pero kung who is in charge of the operations for the confidential fund, hindi kami aware or hindi yan dinidiscuss sa amin sa regular meetings ng mga undersecretaries.
Ma'am, are you familiar with the National Task Force to End Local Communist Armed Conflict or the NTF-ELCAC? Party po ba ng NTF-ELCAC ang DepEd? Tama po ba, Madam Yusek? And this NTF-ELCAC has been existing since 2018? Tama po ba, Madam Yusek?
Yes, Your Honor. I'm aware of the NTF-ELCAC because may kasama pong pondo yan sa GAA. Doon ko po siya na-encounter. I am also aware during the time of Secretary Liling Briones, I member po siya ng NTF-ELCAC. And I remember, including our former VP Secretary, I am just confirming from our Chief of Staff before, yes po, kasama daw po ang DepEd sa NTF-ELCAC din.
Sa pagkakalam nyo, Yusek, ano ang role ng NTF-ELCAC? Hindi po ba ito ang related doon sa 4 na programa ng kung saan ginagamit ang confidential fund ng DepEd? Madam Chair? Madam Yusek, sorry.
Your Honor, as far as yung pong budget ng DepEd na regular is concerned, wala po kaming ginagastos for NTF-ELCAC. Yun po ang pwede kong masagot. Pero kung ano po yung role ng DepEd Secretary sa NTF-ELCAC, hindi po kasi ako involved. I was never called or present in any meeting na dinidiscuss po ang NTF-ELCAC matters.
Kung alam niyo po yung programa sa DepEd, and it was organizing and coordinating the execution of the project, what department under Department Ed po itong nag-execute dito?
Okay. This is how I understand the question, Your Honor. NTF-ELCAC, participation of DepEd in the NTF-ELCAC is through the Office of the Secretary only. So baka po mas relevant po na magbigay ng inputs yung ating former Chief of Staff kasi sila po ang uma-attend ng NTF-ELCAC, Your Honor.
Madam Yusek, the matter of confidential funds has garnered a lot of attention these days, especially the unprecedented inclusion of confidential funds sa DepEd. Ayon sa impormasyon po na nakalap namin, itong mga confidential funds ay ginamit po for 4 programs. Number 1, the abuse, prevention, and control within schools. Number 2, the anti-extremism, terrorism program. Number 3, the anti-illegal activities operations. And number 4, the counter-insurgency programs. And party po ito ang mga programa na binibigyan ng training ang mga teacher at estudyante para i-combat ang recruitment ng extremist or terrorist group of recruitment. Tama ho ba, Madam Chair?
SDS.
Yes.
Mr. Po would like to, I think, answer that question.
Mr. Chair, thank you, if I may be recognized. As far I was the Chief of Staff, Undersecretary and Chief of Staff of the Vice President that time, but I only started kasi April 1 po, 2023. So, on the question on NTF-ELCAC, kasi kahit po ako, or I'm not involved in the operations mismo of the confidential funds, so I have no details on that. But on the NTF-ELCAC, I would remember that one project, at least that of my personal knowledge, is we had a joint press conference with NTF-ELCAC po sa DepEd regarding yung mga programa nila against anti-extremism, insurgency. At least, to the best of my knowledge, yun po yung isang naging proyekto with NTF-ELCAC. Nag-joint press con po kami. At that time, I was still spokesperson. Opo. Just to add to the ano po. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Poa. Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Well, I just continue. So, Madam Yusek, Mr. Chairman, so ibig sabihin, yung 37.5, pag gumagawa ko kayo ng cheque, ng voucher, meron pong particulars na nakatouch yan. Yan ba, puro voucher lang po yan and you will type it na pay Mr. Paharda? Wala akong attachment ho yan?
Yes, Your Honor. We are compliant with the joint circular. Sa amin po, ang naka-attach lang would be the authority, kung sino po yung Special Disbursing Officer. Second is the obligation request. Third is the disbursement voucher. At yung pong certification na nasubmit na yung report sa COA, yun lang po.
Ano po yung
ang kailangan
circular na sinasabi nyo? Hindi ko po masyadong alam.
Yun po yung joint circular on the release, utilization, monitoring, liquidation, reporting, accountability of the confidential and intelligence fund. The Civil Commission on Audit, DBM, DILG, GCC, GCG, Department of National Defense, Joint Circular Number 2015-01, Your Honor.
So, yun po. So, ang mga payables po nyo, ginagamit nyo talaga cheque. Paano nyo ginagamit yung mga cheque nyo? Sa MOOE lang? Sa accounts payables? Paano nyo ginagamit yung mga cheque for paying other suppliers or paano? Mga payroll? Paano nyo ginagamit yung mga cheque?
Yes. Tama po, Your Honor. The checks are used for all programs and projects and activities. So, pwede pong MOE, pwede rin pong payroll sa sweldo, pwede po sa supplier, pwede sa contractor. In this case, kasi po nakalagay sa joint circular na ang confidential fund should be in the form of cash advance. So, pag cash advance, cheque po talaga ang dapat na ilabas under the name of the authorized special disbursing officer. So, yun po yung procedure na sinusunod namin based on the COA policy.
Sinabidyo na po ba yung mga attachment ng 37.5 kung saan ginamit yun?
Wala po kaming copy noon, Your Honor. Ang magre-report po kung saan siya ginamit would be the Special Disbursing Officer and the Head of Agency. At ito po ay sinasubmit sa COA Chairman through the ICPAO. Yun po yung opisina.
So, ang talagang makakasagot dito is Mr. Paharda.
Yes, Your
Kasi
Honor.
siyang disbursement officer. Tama ho ba?
Tama po, Your Honor.
Well, di ba, pag nagbabayad tayo sa gobyerno, meron tayong tinatawag na ADA, meron tayong tinatawag na LDAP, LDDAP, meaning to say, List of Due and Demandable Accounts Payable. or the advice to debt account. Hindi po pwedeng i-apply yan na i-deposit mo na lang as ADA yung 37.5 million. Bakit cheque pa ginagamit natin?
Your Honor, that will not be compliant with the joint circular because the joint circular specifically provided under Section 6 of Joint Circular 2015-01, the grant of the confidential fund is only through cash advance. So hindi po pwede ang ADA, hindi rin po pwede yung list of due and demandable accounts payable, only through check po, Your
So
Honor.
talagang cash po talaga yan kasi cash advance.
Cash po talaga, Your Honor.
So, Mr. Chairman, that's all. And the summary of my interpellation, USEC Sevilla prepare a check, prepare the voucher, and sign the check by USEC Sevilla and USEC Mercado, and received by a certain the SDO, Mr. Paharda. And Mr. Paharda is the one who encashed the check from Land Bank and kinuha niya yung pera. At Mr. Chairman, yung 37.5, ewan ko ikaw kung kaya bang buhatin yun, from the Land Bank, alam ko may Land Bank office sa baba ng DepEd, bubuhatin mo yun sa opisina ni Mr. Paharda. So, I don't know, kaya gusto ko hong invite Mr. Chairman, si Mr. Paharda, kung paano niya binuhat itong 37.5 million ng 3 beses na na-issue ni Miss Annalyn Sevilla, ang ating Undersecretary, at ang ating former Undersecretary na si Miss Mercado. So on that note, Mr. Chair, malinaw po na ginawa po yung 3 voucher at saka 3 cheque ni USEC Sevilla at USEC Mercado and then encashed by Mr. Paharda. So yun lang po. Maraming salamat po.